Welcome back to Half Moon's Picks, and let's talk about the NFC North. All right, first on the docket is the Green Bay Packers. And one of the key things they did in the offseason, they picked up from Cleveland during the draft, quarterback Kaiser. That was a unique trade for, a fifth-round draft pick. They signed wide receiver Michael Clark, rookie from Marshall. Those are the main two things that caught my eye. They released Jordy Nelson. He went to Oakland. And they signed Jimmy Graham from Seattle. One thing I'm not too fond with Jimmy Graham is, he tied the second ball the whole NFL at 7 drops last year. So he has a lot of drops. I don't know if that is due to how Russell Wilson throws the ball, but I know Aaron Rodgers can throw the ball just as good. So that if he's healthy. Aaron Rodgers now is 34. If you hadn't known, in 2013, he injured his non-throwing, his left collarbone. He did not have surgery on that. They just let it heal properly. And that happened on the Bears Monday night football game. Like I said, they just waited it to heal. And in 2017, last year, the right collarbone was injured with the Vikings, Anthony Barr, sticking up the middle finger at Aaron Rodgers on that one. But he had to have 13 screws and 2 plates put in his right collarbone. That's just his throwing shoulder. So last year, the majority of the games, Brett Hundley played, and they ended up, with a 7-9 season last year. Some of the other things, Aaron Jones has a 2-game suspension for substance abuse. It affects the first 2 games with the Bears and the Vikings. You got Ty Montgomery, who's a wide receiver, now running back, and Jamal Williams will help fill those gaps. And a big fan of any of those. And I think Green Bay doesn't have much of an offensive line. But looking at the Vegas numbers here, the odds of win the Super Bowl is 12-1, and their win totals are predicted to win 10 games, which is a moderate 10 total. They only won 7 last year, but like I said, Aaron Rodgers, is he good enough to win 3 more games than last year? The strength of schedule, the Packers are first in strength of schedules. That means the teams they play is the hardest of all the NFL. Last year, the division, they went 2-4. And I think if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, they could go over that 10 total wins. They could win this division at 11 or 12. But like I said, but you're betting on if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy or not. Like I said, he has 13 screws in his shoulder and 2 plates. So will he do it? That's the question. That's what you're betting on. That's the whole team. Aaron Rodgers, the whole team, end of story. All right. So next on the list is the Minnesota Vikings. Let's see. They obviously the biggest story. They grabbed Kirk Cousins from Washington, 3-year contract deal, and they pretty much did away with all 3 of their quarterbacks. Teddy Bridgewater went to the Jets. The Sam Bradford went to the Cardinals, and Case Keenum went to Denver. So Kirk Cousins will lead the helm. Let's see, they also grabbed Trevor Siemian from Denver as well. Let's see, they lost wide receiver Jarius Wright. They signed defensive tackle Sheldon Richardson from Seattle. One thing they also did, they signed Kendall Wright from Chicago to as a wide receiver, and he'll be with Diggs and Thielen. one thing, they re-signed K4 Bath. He was a decent kicker. Is definitely a step up from Blair Walsh. Minnesota has a great defense. It was ranked #1 last year in 2017, and the O-line looks good. Kirk Cousins, I mean, he's a decent quarterback. Aside from the 1 year Case Keenum, he did great last year. Dink and dunk, but I feel Kirk Cousins throws a little bit more interceptions, but Case Keenum's a backup quarterback in my opinion. I'm sure he'll be starting in Denver, but in my opinion, he's a backup quarterback and he's a decent backup quarterback. Kirk Cousins will lead this way. I think they got a shot. If all goes well, they stay healthy. They stayed healthy all last year. They got a chance of winning this division as well. They'll be in the race with the Packers. And then, looking at the numbers here, they are 12-1 to win the Super Bowl. Same as Packers. Win total, same as Packers at 10. Last year they went 13-3. And they pretty much stayed with the same team. They only lost very little. They still have the same team for the majority of it. And can they beat the Packers for the division? So both these teams might, go over 11. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to take the over on this. The strength of schedule's tied with the Bears, obviously, for 8th. Still pretty high. But their defense will keep them in games. Now, will their offense, will they do better this year? I think they will. With Kirk Cousins, everybody's coming back healthy. I think they might even make a run, 4 or 5 games in a row without, especially, they're going to have, they'll play the Packers, and the Packers running back, Aaron Jones, is going to be, not playing. So it's going to be all pass, and I'm sure the Vikings will be ready to go for that game in week 2. So yeah, I'm going with the over on this one as well. Last year division 5-1. The only loss was against the Lions. Definitely take the over the 10. There's the only thing that would worry me for the Vikings if something were to happen to Kirk Cousins. Obviously, he's the quarterback, and then you're left with Trevor Siemian. Oh, good luck then. You see a lot of 6-3 ball games. But yeah, I think I take the over 10 on this one. All right, next let's talk about Detroit Lions. This is my team. I know the ins and outs of this team very well. See, we got a new head coach, Matt Patricia. If you don't know, he's from the Patriots, defensive coordinator. They let go Jim Caldwell. He was fired after 2 9-7 back-to-back seasons. That's just kind of strange, but like I said, Martha Ford, she wants to have a winning team, go to the Super Bowl, before she dies. I think she's like 90 years old now. We also got a new defensive coordinator, Paul Pasquini, something like that, Pasquini. He did a lot of pro and college coaching. He got a huge resume, and he's picked by Patricia herself. Let's see, our biggest signing, we signed LeGarrette Blount, 31-year-old running back. He played New England, won the Super Bowl there, and then played Philadelphia last year, won the Super Bowl there. He'll be running the ball with Abdullah Zach Zinner, who just also signed, they re-signed him, and he seems to be a fan favorite in the area. Theo Riddick, he'll be in there, and Dwayne Johnson, they'll probably put him on the practice squad, bring him in if he's needed. Some of the other things we've did is we drafted another running back as well, so we're stacking, the Lions are stacking the running backs. We got Kerryon Johnson from Auburn. That was our big pick from the draft. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs. So during the preseason, the Lions will determine who's going to be in there, and who is it. So we'll find out from that. See, our defense, Lions re-signed just about all their defense. Hyder, Wilson, Jones, Kennard, Lawson, cornerback. If anybody needed a contract signed, we signed them all back. And see, we lost, we got rid of Eric Ebron to the Indianapolis Colts. See ya. He was dropping balls left and right, so bad. And then the fans called him out, and he was like, "Man, screw the fans." And Martha Ford said, "Well, screw you," and out the door. And I saw that one coming. So he went to the Colts, and good luck with him. See, we signed T.J. Jones back to the team, another wide receiver for the Lions. Our backup quarterback, Jake Rudick, kind of somewhat of a rookie. He took over the reins in the Baltimore game, got killed. And like I said, tight end Luke Wilson we grabbed from Seattle. So we got rid of one tight end and got a new one. So Luke Wilson. So Seattle lost both their tight ends, one to Green Bay and one to us. One thing about the Lions, though, looking at the stats, since the realignment of the divisions in 2002, the Lions have never won a division. For one thing or another, Lions seem to muff it up. We were in second seat a couple years ago, and we just couldn't win a game to keep us in. We still managed to make the playoffs. So. Let's see, the Super Bowl odds 65-1. I've been playing that $5 Super Bowl ticket for the Lions for a very long time, in the early 90s, but never cashed one in yet. 65, not a bad number either. All odds are from Bovada, and so the win totals for Lions is 7.5. That is a definite must be over. We're tied for second for the strength of schedule, so it's going to be a tough schedule this year. Last year we went 9-7, and that was with Caldwell. I think the Lions will do equally as good, or at least get 8-8. 8-8. Why not? With Patricia, new team, new coach. Why not? Division, we went 5-1 last year, so all you gotta do is win 3 more games. And Lions are always a tough division competitor, so this is an easy one to go over the win totals. Not a bad sleeper dark horse Super Bowl team, but if Martha Ford wants it, can she buy it? Who knows? All right, and last but not least, we got the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears, fired John Fox, and they got Matt Nagy. That's the Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator. They got rid of Mike Glennon, quarterback. He went to Arizona. They also released Marcus Wheaton. He went to Philadelphia. He's a wide receiver, if you didn't know. They signed a 3-year contract with Allen Robinson. He's a wide receiver from Jacksonville, so they got rid of one wide receiver, grabbed another one, and he'll be playing the number 1 wide receiver slot. Allen Robinson from Jacksonville, number 1 slot. Yeah, I'm not liking the wide receiver core of Chicago. I mean, it's a little bit of an upgrade. Let's see who else they got. They got also they grabbed for the number 2 wide receiver slot. So these are all new wide receivers for the team. Taylor Gabriel. He's from Atlanta. He'll be the number 2 wide receiver. And let's see, they also signed Chase Daniel as their backup quarterback. He played in New Orleans. He also played KC and Philly as well. Another quarterback, Tyler Bray. So they got a triple quarterback: Tyler Bray, Chase Daniel, and Mitch Trubisky. So that's the quarterback threat. I'm not liking the quarterback threat in Chicago as well. A lot of changes in Chicago too. So you got the quarterbacks, you got the wide receiver core, and you got the coaches. Their offense might, not do so well this season, but last season, you gotta give them credit for their defense. Their defense placed 10th ranked overall, which ain't too bad. They kept in a few games. Last year they did go 5-11, but they on their defense, their pass rush is not looking so well. Mitch Trubisky also the sophomore slump. You got to take that into effect. That's one thing they always say about rookie quarterbacks, the sophomore slump. See, let's look at the odds here. Super Bowl odds 80 to 1. I wouldn't play that one. Win total 6.5. You know, like I said, they won 5 games last year. This year they got a little bit tougher schedule. They strength of schedule is 8th place. Last year they didn't win any divisional games whatsoever. They got swept by the Packers with no quarterback, the Vikings, and the Lions. So 0-6. So they got 6.5. So if I was to play this, I would play the under 6.5. So even if they did win one more game than they did last year, you'd still cash that ticket. So that's it for the NFC North and what I think about the numbers that are for the win totals and the Super Bowl odds. Stay tuned to the channel. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And keep in touch. I'm going to do all the divisions. I'll probably do 2 a week until the season starts. See you then. Peace. You enjoy placing a few bucks on your favorite team? Maybe try your hand at cards or on the slot. Use me as a reference and click the link in the description below and receive a new member bonus and help support this channel. Bovada, just better.